You have now entered the K-hole.
All hail the chin. Welcome to the shit show. Let chaos begin. K's chat is all blue, everyone's a mod. You gotta be timed out to be part of the squad. Don't take it personal, it's a fun game we play. K's chat is full of trolls, reppin' blue all the way. Yeah, you're in the K-hole. All hail the chin. Welcome to the shit show. Let's fuck house. Because
Wow. An annoying woman in the background. It was terrible. I wish I knew the name of the podcast. I'd give her a plug.
Kicking It with Crystal is now live.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Crystal. Thank you for tuning in to Kicking It with Crystal. We have an amazing show for you. I don't know how, I was able to get none other than Stuttering John Melendez. You know him from The Howard Stern Show. You know him from Jay Leno. You guys everywhere. He does music videos. I mean, he's amazing. He's hilarious. So let's take a listen to this really quick, and then we'll bring him on.
Do you think that ugly people should have children?
I don't think ugly people should have children, no. I told your mother that.
Yes! All right!
Are you pro-abortion?
Yes.
All right, Ed.
And as I look around me, I see a lot of missed opportunities.
You know what I'm saying? See, porno's not good if you're a tiny guy. When you watch these guys, you just want to cry. Because when you see their lower epidermis, those nasty dudes are hung like a thermos. Went to the doctor and he saw my wings. He gasped and laughed. It was obscene. Cause I feel so.
What was it like to wake up one day and realize that you were God? What was it like to wake up one day and realize that you were God?
Now, you see, the Dalai Lama is handling all this. Richard Gere starts freaking out. He's freaking out.
That's a very strange one. How about another one?
Okay, all right. Do people ever say hello, Dolly?
These are very odd questions.
No, firstly, you know. You see, the Dalai Lama digs drum.
Like a baby's head. Break it down.
As a kid in gym class, I would cower when the coach said it was time to shower. I'd take my clothes off and feel no joy when the kids all call me a badger.
So small. When I use the urinal. That's why I'm so small. I use the bathroom stall.
Barack Obama was on the Ellen DeGeneres show the other day. John, you were there. What did you say to Barack Obama? What did you say to him?
I didn't say anything, dude. I just think the guy. I don't think he likes to look at my face. He doesn't like your face. I don't know why. I mean, you can't blame him there.
Cause I feel small. Only 2 feet tall. I feel so tiny.
And now,
Let me just tell everybody right now, that was you singing that, right? That was you singing I Feel Small.
Yes, that was me.
Is this something that, I mean, so you have a small penis? Is that what the problem is? Did you write?
It was just a goof. No, I'm really hung like a horse.
Not a miniature horse, though, like an actual, like, you're not horse. Not
a seahorse.
A sea. I was so nervous until just now, and then you said that I'm literally picturing, I don't know if this is good or not because I'm married, so it's probably cheating on some level, but I'm literally picturing, because I saw the mankini videos where you came out on The Tonight Show in a mankini.
Yeah.
So I've got this visual of you in this mankini with a seahorse-sized penis, and
awesome!
Thank you. That was
Well, the truth is that, if you want to hear a good story, that when that day happened, when we were in rehearsal, after rehearsal, I got a call down. I was in the makeup room, And the executive producer called me and said, "Hey, John, could I ask you a favor? And would you not get mad?" And I said, "No, what is it?" She said, "Could you shave some of your pubes? Because you could see it all around the mankini." So I said, "I don't have a problem with that." And then Margaret, the makeup person, said, "I'm not shaving it." So she handed me one of those like hair shears, those like electric, like shavers. And I went to put it on that area, and then I just cut myself, and blood started squirting out. And just when the blood started squirting out, Howie Mandel was the guest. He happened to walk into the makeup room.
Oh,
and went,
no.
He almost had a freaking heart attack.
he's
such a germphobe.
Yeah, he's bad. Like he doesn't. Yeah, he's that sucks too. I bet you he's freaking out with this Ebola thing going on.
Oh God, I'm sure he's doing stand-up in a hazmat suit at this point.
I bet you anything. Or if he's even leaving his house, he might just be doing some like video chatting comedy or something, if that's even possible. So I know you graduated from college, right, with your film and television.
Yes.
Now, and this was back. You have to excuse me. My Howard history is not the best, but did you start? He was on Channel 9 at that time, right?
I started with him before Channel 9. I started with him in 1988.
So he was you went from doing TV and film, and then you went into radio, right?
No, I majored at NYU for film and television. In my last semester, I started interning at Howard, and then I started doing the interviews in 88, 89, and then the TV show came around, and I believe 89, or 90, and then so we did 2 years on Channel 9, and that's what that as soon as the TV thing came around, then I became more popular, so I was able to make like good money, going out on the road,
Yeah, your TV, your celebrity interviews, I've had such a blast watching those, and my listeners are awesome because I put out there that I was going to have you on, and all of a sudden, like, people are just flooding my inbox, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I have to be careful here, because I don't want to, like I told you, I want to keep it fresh, and I ask you questions, so I don't want to learn everything about you right now, but it was like crack. I watched one, and then I had to watch another one, and it just spiraled from there, but I do have a fan question here of yours, and this question came with a video of, I guess, fights that have happened, that have gone down at the Stern.
Yeah.
So you already know where I'm going with this. So what's up with that guy? Now, the audio it was all fucked up, so I couldn't hear who the name of that guy was, but whoever it was, you were fucking with them from in the back or whatever, and he's like, I'm going to go kick his ass. I'm going to fucking beat his ass right now. And
yeah, that was AJ Benza.
Oh, was that who that was? Okay, so what did you do to fucking piss him off? Was you pissing his cornflakes or what? Like, he was mad.
No, I don't want to make any accusations. I think, let's just say that I don't know what he was on or what he wasn't on, but it didn't seem normal to me, but it was early in the morning, obviously, and, I would put calls through, and I would put good calls through, and I would put bad calls through, and AJ was under the assumption that I was only putting bad calls through, which was not true because the truth of the matter is, Howard at the time was just taking the bad calls because they're more interesting.
Right.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's what it's just more fun. So Howard kept taking the negative calls, and AJ started getting more and more pissed, and and finally said, if John puts another bad call through, then I'm going to go punch him in the face, which I think is kind of ridiculous if the kid can't handle a few calls. So
right.
Then I called in, but I didn't let Howard know it was me. I called it as like, Eddie Johnson, and then Howard took the call, and then I just started calling AJ, an arrogant jerk, and goofing on him losing his hair, and then
How did
and
you
then
know
he came
it was
out. Well, because I didn't try and change my voice or anything.
Okay.
And then he came in and then slapped me in the face, and then I tried to fight back, but unfortunately Gary's teeth got in the way, and I couldn't really, so I couldn't. Yeah, you tried swinging a punch over those things, and I couldn't. It's like Great Wall of China, so I couldn't get a punch in, but. Then AJ got fired. Then maybe a month later, he sent me this long email apologizing and saying, that he was wrong. and then like a while I was doing I was headlining the John Lovitz Club out here in L.A. and then AJ emails me and asks me if I wanted him to come and then I could smack him on stage. Now, I said yes, come, because I don't have any hard feelings and I would not smack him in the face. I would have just introduced him. And then later on, like a week later, I see him on Artie Lang's DirecTV show, and AJ's like trashing me and making it look like I wanted him to come and saying how sad it is that I post stuff on Facebook about my family and whatever. And
what?
And he's just, well, that's the whole thing. And I, so after he said all this garbage and trying to appear, holier than thou, which I mean, I always thought AJ had a tad, a bit of arrogance about him, and and he so he did that. So then I just emailed him and said, hey, what the hell, man? Something to that effect. I said, you're the one who wanted to come to my show, and then I said, as far as Facebook goes, I go, that's like right now that's my radio show until I get a radio show. You just post stuff that's interesting or going on in your life, what I mean? And
yeah.
like now I post a lot of me, being in Scottsdale October 16th to the 19th at Stand Up Scottsdale.
That was a very smooth plug there. Like that.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize what was happening until I heard. I'm like, what's he doing? Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, but but I'll post things about my daughter. She was
She's graduated, didn't she?
Yeah, but she was the first. She's a lesbian. She was the first homecoming queen in Calabasas high school history.
Really? That's really freaking cool.
No, I know. This was a snobby place that used to be called Cala Blacklist, because they didn't have any black people here. But but then the Wayans brothers, the whole family, moved in and it became half.
Well, the Kardashians are in that area too, and where the Kardashians are,
Yeah, I used to hang out with the Kardashians before they were, keeping up with the Kardashians.
No way! Give me a story. It's like, tell me something about Miss Kim K, because.
No, I used to hang out with them by the pool. They'd be in their bikinis, and I would be ogling and going, how hot are these girls?
Did you just say you had sex with Kris Jenner?
No, I didn't have sex.
God damn it! Why can't you just go with it? Just go with it.
No. I didn't have sex with anybody except for Bruce. Yeah. No,
well, he's looking pretty, isn't he? Now.
I don't know what the hell he's doing, but But yeah, I mean, Courtney was always my favorite. I still think Courtney is like the all around hottest one of the three.
Yeah, I think I actually really like Chloe, but I think the whole family is fucking nuts, and I cannot stand Kanye West. So, I mean, Kim is like shit in my book now. But
no, I at my show at Stand Up Scottsdale, October 16th to the 19th, I do I do about 5 minutes on the Kardashians.
No way. Give me a taste. I want to.
No, I can't, because
I
you're
was looking
stepping
everywhere for
every joke I try.
I would what?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
I'll hear it on the replay.
No. It's just that you can't go back, and we already covered a lot of in other words, I can't just tell a joke now, and it wouldn't sound it wouldn't sound natural and conversational.
Yeah, that's why. See, those things. That's why I'm not a stand-up comedian. I just fucking blurt shit out whenever it comes to me. So.
No, of course, but now to go back and say, oh, it wouldn't be good. But anyway.
But yeah, Kanye West is. I think that he's a douche.
You're a douchebag.
But I think that I used to like them, like when they were before they got like really, really big, like when they were still living in that little cute little cottagey looking house. That's when I really liked it. It was like the first couple seasons maybe of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I didn't feel like such trash like watching them or guilty for watching them. But then they got big and then they moved, and I think Chloe, to me, she's the best. She might not be the hottest, but she's the most.
No, I think Courtney, Kim, and Chloe is the easiest marry and kill they would ever be.
Okay, so give it to me. Well, obviously, I think you would marry Courtney. Let me guess for you.
Yes, I would marry Courtney,
Fuck
kill
yeah.
Chloe, and then F Kim. I mean, it's very simple.
Well, okay. Can you switch rules around? Can you be like, well, I would fuck Kim and before I killed her, and then fuck, because Chloe, you can't kill Chloe. Chloe's got more substance to her than Kim does. You know what? It's your game. It's your game. You can kill whoever you want. You're right.
I guess you can't kill Chloe because then her dad, OJ, would come and stab you.
Oh, shit! That's so funny because I remember some of the questions you were asking somebody about that. Like, what's your stance on OJ? And I don't remember who it was, but I don't remember which. It was a female, and she's like, I don't stand on OJ or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? She totally missed what you were trying to say.
I don't know. I once asked OJ if he'd sign my knife.
Did you? What did he say?
Oh, he just kind of walked in. I mean, he didn't comment.
You didn't flinch? I would have flinched. Had I said something like that to OJ, like, because you know you're being a smart ass, and you know exactly what you're doing, and he's not a dumb man. Well, not totally dumb. Like, you know he would know, too. I'd be afraid that he'd hit me. Like that one guy, Mort.
Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah, did you ever, obviously he must be related to, is he related to Robert Downey Jr.?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, they have the same fucking name, but I guess they wouldn't be both juniors, so.
Yeah, no, that was one of the first people that punched me.
So, I mean, I honestly, with the fight where you were trying to get past Gary, I thought he got hit.
No, he slapped me in the face.
Like, he says, ow. Like, the guy goes and swings, and you hear Gary go, ow. And it didn't...
Yeah, because then I started trying to, like I said, punch over Gary, so maybe I hit Gary. I mean, I don't know.
You were, climbing Gary like he was a tree, just trying to get over him. It was really funny.
No, I know. But I just, like I said, I couldn't get to him. But, it's like all that stuff is just, it's water under the bridge. I can give crap about, I don't have any anger towards any of them. I mean, like Crazy Cabby, I just became, what do they call it? LinkedIn friends or whatever you call that, so.
Right.
I don't hold any, I don't really care about, any of that stuff as far as holding grudges against anybody. I mean, still to this day, I know, at least I hear that Fred trashes me on a regular basis, but yeah, I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
I mean, you're gonna have.
I mean, the only unfortunate thing, really, and I, not to empower any of these, nut jobs, but is that I do get that fringe level of Stern fan, and for the most part, the 99.9% of Stern fans have been nothing but, gracious to me and nice and have said the kindest things to me. But then you get that very, very small percentage who, who want to trash me and want to say horrible things. Like I told you yesterday when we were setting up this interview, like I got, one guy who tweeted me that he's happy that there's another man inside my wife right now, and that my kids will one day know what an asshole I am. And then I got another guy who said he wants to rape my kids and kill my wife. And I mean, it's amazing the amount of hate that some people have and I didn't do anything. I mean, yeah, I left the show, but just like we discussed yesterday, I left the show after 15 years, and and I gave my heart and soul to that show. I think anybody who is a fan knows that, I was the guy that would stir it up in there, and I came up with things that whatever, it was me and Scott Salen's bet outside in the hallway that he couldn't do 18 push-ups or whatever it was that turned into that whole, bit. I mean, it was me and Artie talking about, how he couldn't hit a softball. A softball pitch. I mean, a lot of those things were just me stirring it up. I used to come in and talk about, how much I already ate, and
that today. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, like on the road. So I think people appreciated that, and I think they appreciated me asking Anna Nicole Smith to keep getting back on the scale, and I think people love when I goofed on Gary ad nauseum. I know Howard did, and it's weird to me to give so much. And work so hard at that show, and I go out and do interviews till 2 a.m. and get punched by celebrities and everything else, and then to have like this fringe bunch of people that like put it this way, I opened up for Artie Lang at Club Nokia out here in LA, and there was like 900 people there, and 8 people in the upper balcony, right when they announced my name, just booed and booed just the whole set. So I could barely get a word in, and I tried to like play with them a little bit, you know, and say, "Wow, look, I didn't know my family was coming," you know, and make jokes, and you know. But then it just became, so they ruined what could have been a good experience for a lot of people who do like me, you know, and it's unfortunate because and so those guys could go home and feel good about themselves, but they, it's like they just, like they ruined, paying people who paid good money, $50 a ticket,
Right.
and of course they were all there to see Artie, but I'm sure a lot of them would have liked to have heard things I had to say, but unfortunately it's ruined by this small, like, percentage of people who would rather hate. And I even said to Howard, when I was leaving, like the show, like my last 2 weeks, I said, please, I mean, if, don't get these people riled up, because if that happens, it's not going to be pretty, because the truth is, and the reason why I even said that is because, I love Jackie the Joke Man, and, Jackie's a great guy, and Jackie, I think, was great on the show, and he did a great job on the show, and he's a lovable person, and, Jackie once took his nephew to a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden after he had left the Stern Show, and all the trash that went on. And, listen, I'm not saying I'm innocent on like saying Jackie was dumb to leave, because I truly told, I told Jackie before I left, Jackie, why leave? You should just, stick it out, because, Jackie was making a ton more money than I was ever making. And, I mean, like Jackie had but I guess he was fed up or whatever the case, and he's entitled to his, to whatever he wants to do. But the story I'm going to tell you is that he's at the Knick game, and they show Jackie on the Jumbotron, and he's with his little nephew, and then like everyone at the Garden starts to boo him.
Oh,
and,
no.
And for me, it's like,
we have a call.
It just made me.
We have a call really quick. Hold on just a second. Area code 631. You're on the air. Do you have a question for John?
Yeah, it's Jerry. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. John, I'm a huge fan, man. I loved you back in the day when you were on the show.
Thanks a lot, Jerry.
Got a quick question for you. I apologize if this was asked already, or if you already answered it, but I just turned the show on. Do you regret at all leaving the show? I mean, do you wish you were still there?
No, not at all. I mean, and I just listen. I loved being there. It was fun, but I was there for 15 years, and I went to NYU for film and television. Like, I so wanted to be, in TV, and I so it was my dream. It was nothing, it wasn't like that I was mad at anything. I just wanted to get out, and try something new.
Jerry, while I've got you on the line, and John, I have a clip that I put together of I believe this happened on your last day, on the last day that you were there. I put some of the clips together because it covers everything that we talked about as far as with you leaving. So let's listen to that. Jerry, stay on.
I said to you, I don't want to hear about your cockamamie schemes anymore.
Business.
That's right. I don't want to. The same what Tom's talking about. Not about when you were leaving the show. That's a whole different ballgame. And you had no problem picking up the phone the day the contract was
signed. And those other things you talked to me about were in addition to the show. You were never leaving the show with those other things either.
Well, I mean, do you think I get paid here? I get paid because Mel's afraid that someone else is going to make me a better money offer.
Yeah, but Tom didn't believe I can do anything else.
What are you talking about?
But
even when I got a job, he's like, no way, like, get out of here.
Everybody said that. Show, right? Well, John, you can't do anything else. What are you doing? You're being the stuttering announcer.
All right, so then
you can't do anything else.
So
You're the stuttering John.
All right, so then I suck.
Right. I didn't say you suck. I know that Jay's a very honorable guy and will treat you well. So you're in for a good ride, and I do wish you well, and you are a friend of ours. And despite Mel never saying that you're dead to him, I didn't say you were dead to me. So I wish you good luck.
Who's going to be the king of gossip? Who's going to come in with the private stuff no one else will have the guts to talk about?
That's a big holdup. That's a big shoes to fill.
That's these shoes.
Yeah, John, and despite that John thinks I don't think he's talented, I do. And no one is on the show because I think they're untalented.
Okay, so I guess we lost Jerry, but you and I talked about this yesterday, and you did feel like they felt that way about you.
Well, you know what? The thing that makes me laugh the most. Well, first of all, I appreciate Howard saying that I was talented. I don't even remember him saying that. And that's kind of nice to hear. But the thing that makes me laugh, and I didn't speak to Robin for a long time after that, because the truth of the matter is before I gave my 2 weeks notice. No, I mean after I gave my 2 weeks notice, I had first my wife had a very nice conversation with Robin, and then I did on the phone, and Robin was like, you know, I don't blame you for leaving. You did the right thing, and this I will swear to God about, and she knows this conversation happened as well. And then when we went back, that because I talked to her while I was in Tempe, I was you know doing stand up there, and then when I went back to do the show, Robin did that about face and then attacked me. And later on, when I talked to her and said, you know, after when she called me and said that we should talk and we should make up, and then her and I had dinner out here in L.A. And I said, how could you have done that? How could you have told me on the phone that, you know, because, I mean, she said a lot more than the things I'm even telling you.
Right.
And then she said, listen, I was caught between a rock and a hard place. I had to, you know, because she loves Howard too. And, you know, and she had to, you know, I guess, you know, toe the line. So
yeah, but I feel like she kind of went overboard with it, because like in
well,
that
of course,
in that clip,
and that's why, and listen, and that's the only thing. And you know, like hearing that back, and then hearing him say, you know, first of all, as far as you know, Mel Karmazin is concerned, I mean, you know, I don't even like he's the one who stirred the pot, because he's the one who said, oh, how, you know, like I guess he went out to dinner with Howard and got Howard, you know, like how could John leave, and here's it just boggles the mind to me that a guy was like Mel has got that much freaking money and is, you know, I mean, and is really gonna, now I'm dead to him because I wanted to, you know, to move on. I mean, it wasn't anything personal. I didn't, you know, hate Howard, or I didn't dislike the job. I just wanted to move on. I mean, and then Mel, being one of the smartest businessmen on the planet, is gonna think that you wouldn't sign a contract first. I mean, really?
Yeah.
I mean, any business person in the world would know that you don't leave a job before you have another job.
Right.
And, you know, and yes, and I did try to talk to Howard, and that was a year prior, and I know it's all documented. I know Robin saying I wasn't going to leave the show, but I told her the Tonight Show had offered me a gig. And, you know, and it was, and it was a correspondence gig at first. And Howard didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want anything to do with my career, and he said it on the air. And I know that he says, well, I could have went to him now, but I'm sorry, man. You know, I believed him. I believed he didn't want to talk to me. I mean, there are times that Howard would say things to me on the air that I, you know, that weren't, you know, nice, and I believed him. Like, you know, when he told me to.
I included that in the clip.
No, and there's the time where he told me to abort my first kid because I wasn't fit to be a dad. I mean, I know that he could say he was just kidding, but I hate to say it, I was really, really truthfully hurt, because I looked up to Howard. I mean, he was. I mean, I listened to Howard when I was, you know, in college, and I loved him, and I loved him being there. I thought he's probably one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. So, you know, like for me to hear that I'm a loser, and you know, I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, I don't have hard feelings about it now, but it hurt. You know, and you know, saying those things to me then, it hurt. And now I can hear everybody go, wow, 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 but. It did,
no.
You know. No, and I'm only. But I'm not saying like I didn't, you know, kid around with people either. But you know,
there's a difference.
I mean, there was always a line, you know, and
right.
You know, and for me, sometimes that line was crossed, and you know, I used to go home like miserable. I mean, my wife knew it. I'd be like, you know, I just was, I was, you know, he would like, you know, like threaten to fire me, and you know, and like tell me I'm untalented, and you know, I'm not saying that it wasn't shtick for the radio, and you know, and maybe it, you know, in his mind it was, but it hurt. I'm not saying
right.
It didn't hurt.
Right.
I mean, you know, I didn't really give a crap what, like a Fred would say. I wouldn't care what Gary would say, but what Howard would say hurt because I really looked up to him. Did you understand? I mean, and still I look
totally.
up to him. So I mean, that's why it, you know, so it did hurt me. So I think it's odd that Mel would be so appalled, and I'm dead to him just because, you know, I tried to better my life and follow my dream. And the truth of the matter is, I mean, and again, I'm going to say this because I don't want to misconstrue this. I'm not blaming anything on Howard, but Tom Chiusano
once told me when I asked, all I asked for, this was probably my 10th year in, Tom was suffering, he was battling cancer. And I asked Tom Chiasano to give me a raise so I could make $50,000 a year. And $50,000. And Tom looked at me and he said, I'll die of cancer before I give you $50,000 a year.
Wow.
And that, I swear on my life, that is the conversation that, you know, and Tom, and I won't mention another name, but not Howard, but it was a program director who was in the office with Tom, who was telling me like how that I am not, you know, I don't have the talent to do anything else, and you know, and that Howard, you know, created me, which I said no, years and years of bad parenting created me. But I mean, you know, and that's, I mean, listen, Howard has in his book on my 4th grade report card, the teacher wrote, John tends to ask outrageous and penetrating questions in class and stutters when excited, you know. So it was pretty much my resume for the Stern Show. But no, so again, I have no hard feelings for Howard. I know he's got to do a show, and yes, you know, I'm sure, but sometimes I got hurt by some of the things that were said, and that's why I don't know. I don't get, you know, like sometimes certain men go, well, how could you leave? It was the greatest job. Yeah, it was the greatest job, but sometimes I fucking would almost leave fucking like wanting to kill myself.
It's when you we talked about yesterday, like when you take a beat, when it's constant, you know what I mean, like when the ball busting is nonsense. And I'm sorry, and you may feel differently, but I feel that there's a huge difference between busting someone's balls, giving them shit, saying you're always going to be John the stuttering guy, or the stuttering announcer now, that you're never going to be different, because he said that in the clip I played.
No, I know, but the thing is that, and again, I used to hang out with Howard, and our wives were friends, and we had great times. I mean, we really had great conversations. No, but we had great fun, and we had great times, and that's why, you know, it hurt when he would say things like that. And, you know, and I know that you could say it's on-air shtick, and, you know.
No,
and,
he was doing that. I believe I actually really have no authority to talk about this because I don't know the show and I don't know Howard very well at all, but from what I heard, because I listened to that clip a lot, I had to edit it out and shorten it down, so I did hear it a lot. And it comes up, like, the way when he says it, something that was being said at that point made him feel bad about something. You can hear it in his voice, and then that's what.
Well, that's like the best. And you know what? The best conversation I ever had. Well, not the best I ever had, but it was a nice conversation I had when I was leaving. You know, it was after the last day of my tenure on the show, but I was going to do Colin Quinn's Tough Crowd, and I called Howard just to check up again and make sure that he wasn't mad at me, because I didn't want to leave on bad terms. And you know, he was really, really nice, and he said, John, you know what, you know, maybe I should have had you, you know, in the studio, you know, full time in the Jackie chair. Like, he was really, really, you know, he couldn't have been like a nicer guy. And I know, you know, now since then, I've made mistakes where I would say something that didn't come across properly or got Howard mad.
Are you talking about
and, you know,
your Adam Carolla interview?
Yeah, that was, I mean, that didn't go well. But then I hung out with Howard after that, and we made up after that one. Then the most recent one, which I really, and again, it's my mistake because I should have picked up the phone right after it, as Robin advised me after the fact, and she was right. And I'm not always going to be, you know, plus I have a full-time job on Tonight Show, and I'm writing every fucking day and night. So, you know, it's not like you know, and there was also, I was a little angry at the time, not at Howard, but at these people on Facebook and emailing me, and you know, I don't know if Howard ever got the whole email, but whatever.
I don't think he gets it. Like,
no, but what happened was all these people were all accusing me and saying that Howard was saying that I was stealing bits from the Stern Show and using them on the Tonight Show. Now, I would never do that. I'm a stand-up comedian. I mean, you know, if I ever
so quickly, yeah.
No, and if I ever did that, like on stage doing stand-up, and somebody said somebody else did the bit, I would stop it immediately. I mean, I don't want to be known as a, you know. So you know, like, so people were accusing me of stealing some chicken bit, which wasn't even my idea on the Tonight Show. I didn't even remember when we did it on the Tonight Show, the chicken pick in the Super Bowl versus Terry Bradshaw. I didn't even remember that Howard did. I had no idea, else I would have stopped it, but I didn't remember. But you know, that wasn't my idea. And then they were accusing me of stealing Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, which I didn't even write for, so I don't know where that came from. You know, and then jaywalking, and it kept going and one email was that this was that email where the guy wanted to kill and rape my kids and wife, whatever, and then finally I was fed up and I wrote, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid." Now, honestly, I didn't even know. I thought that I thought it meant don't believe everything that you hear, and which I guess it does mean, but I didn't know that it came from like David Koresh. I don't even know. I guess it came from some church. I don't even, but. Where everybody drank Kool-Aid and killed themselves. I don't know.
That would be Jonestown. That would be, yeah.
Yeah, Jonestown. That's it. Yeah, but I didn't even know, and I was just saying it because I was saying don't believe everything you hear, meaning I am not stealing bits. That's what I was trying to say.
Maybe you should have just stuck with I'm not stealing bits.
Yes, exactly. Yes, in retrospect, that would have been much, much better. Because now, I guess Howard doesn't want to talk to me, and I think he said I'm dead to him, and
you basically told him to go Jim Jones himself. So that's
I just meant don't believe everything you hear. And you know what? If it was the wrong term of words, then I'm sorry, and I didn't choose the right terminology, and I didn't choose the right phrase.
Have you
told
him that?
But like I said, no, and that's what I should have done. Is as soon as I heard he got mad, I should have called him, and that's my mistake. But. Again, that's why pencils have erasers, and I'm sure he's not. If I ask him, is he happy about saying I should abort my kid? I'm sure he wouldn't be happy about that either. You know what I mean?
He probably wouldn't even remember. Maybe, I don't know.
No, I think he did. I think he did. Because my ex said that he said it to her again when she was on the birthday show. That he said it to her. So. But see, again, it's just in the moment, and you say something that...
There's a difference, though. That's a huge... That's not ball busting. You're saying that my...
But the point I'm trying to make is, as far as the Kool-Aid thing, is that I'm not going to be perfect, and I'm not going to say the right thing every single time. And believe me, I'm known to put my foot in my mouth on many occasions. And just to end this on a funny note, this part of the conversation, because again, I do love Howard and I love his wife, and I wish that that Kool-Aid comment could be forgiven, because it's just not a representation of all that I feel about
that should have been the one
job.
comment that you just stuttered like a madman over and you could not get out.
Yeah, but you know what? And in my defense, these guys will give me a lot of fucking shit. You know what I mean? And it's like. But listen, and listen, I could be, who knows, it was so long ago, I don't even remember all the comments, but there were, there were quite a few, but this is me putting my foot in my mouth, and I'll tell you the story. I don't know if you remember when I interviewed Billy Crystal,
I did,
but I
saw a little bit of that today, and then I read something about you meeting up with him. Something like that. Yeah, go ahead. You tell it.
Yeah. Well, what happens so you don't, blow the punchline of the whole thing? It was that.
I am your joke kryptonite. I swear to God.
Is that I had pissed Billy Crystal off, and then when he came to do the Tonight Show, we were in Vegas, and I said to Jay, I go, hey, listen, I pissed Billy off. Do you think I should send him some chocolates? And he goes, nah, just avoid him. So I was in the makeup room after the show with Robin Leach, so I did that on a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here show with him. I'm hanging out with Robin, and Billy walks in, and Robin goes, hey, Billy, say hello to my good friend Stuart and John. And I'm like, oh, no. And then it's me and Billy face to face. I go, listen, Billy, I'm sorry about that. They go, yeah, John, it was my premiere. And I go, yeah, I really apologize, but if it's any consolation, I loved your movie 51. And he looked at me, and he was like, 61, John. 61. 51 will be the sequel. And I'm trying to be a nice guy, and I still managed to screw up. And, the same thing happened to me when Jim Cameron was a guest on the Stern Show, and I went to meet him in the green room, and I had just saw Titanic. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Titanic. I couldn't stand the love story. It was just the whole thing just made me...
Are you gay?
What?
I said, are you gay? That's a beautiful love story.
Oh, come on. It was just,
it was very, I'll tell you what, it was very generic, and the one part of the movie that everybody got hung up on, I literally yelled out loud, audibly to everybody else in the theater when it happened, was when she was like, I'll never let go, and then she pries his cold, dead, frozen fucking hands out of hers and drops his ass in the ocean. That was to me, that was horrible. But I cried like a motherfucker because I didn't want him to die. She should have died, if anybody.
Well, I cried that I wasted 3 hours of my life. But anyway, but the one thing I did enjoy was the special effects, and I enjoyed, I enjoyed how they made the ship go down and look cool and everything. So I meet James Cameron. I don't know what to say because I don't want to lie and say I love the movie. So I said, hey man, I saw Titanic. It was fun. And he looks at me and goes, fun? You call that fun? People dying is fun? So I'm not, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna make mistakes, and and I'm sure I made $1 billion during this interview that'll piss them off. But I mean, it is what it is.
They're not gonna hear this. Like I got played on.
No, yes, I mean, believe me, there are people who will pull something and say, look what John said about you. I don't care that much anymore. But I cared when I was there. Because,
they did do that. They have done that. That's how I got on there. Is because they.
No, of course they do. And I did care when I was there because I would hate when Howard get mad at me and yell at me, whatever it would So, yeah. but now I don't. I mean, big deal. I mean, so if he's mad, I mean, it's like I don't want him to be mad at me. I'd rather be friends with him, but I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But
I think if you told him, maybe you probably wouldn't even be able to get near him at this point. But if maybe you had,
no, I don't think so. I mean, like it's funny. I talked to Gary, and Gary called me. I see what was going on, and I talked to Gary, and I said, listen, I'm going to be doing stand up on the East Coast soon, and when that happens, I would I just want to, of course, tell you that. If you guys wanted me, you would be the first show that I would do. Because of course, I would. I owe that to Howard. He should. If he wanted me on, but Gary said, I don't know what we would do with you. He's like, yeah, John, it's a different show now. Howard doesn't really. I go, okay, I don't know. But so but maybe that was him just saying, yeah, I'm persona non grata, and that's fine.
Well, wait. Your last day was. When was your last day? 2003, maybe? With them?
2004.
Okay, so then, and you've been with the Tonight Show since then? You're still writing for the Tonight Show? You're just not announcing?
No. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno ended in February.
Yeah, I didn't know if you got.
Oh no, he didn't get Fallon. We're all trying to get different jobs. I mean, one of my colleagues just got hired at Ellen, which is really nice because he was one of my partners in the department that we wrote. So I'm happy for him. But I actually got hired right after the Tonight Show to work for this company called Bite Size TV. I was a writer there for a while, but then that place went under.
Are you becoming the new show killer?
Well, no. I mean, I didn't actually kill
No, you
the
lasted
Tonight
on.
Show.
Yeah, you lasted on there for.
The other one. No, the other one was not. Everyone lost their job there, but now I'm just doing stand up, and I have a couple of reality things that might be happening soon, and I hope to make an announcement shortly, and I also I have an anime thing that I'm doing, and I'm keeping myself busy, and I might be doing a book,
Really?
So,
yeah, and thanks for sending me that clip, by the way, that you said you were going to send me yesterday that you didn't send me. Yeah.
Oh, the animated thing. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, this isn't visual, though, so they wouldn't be able to see it anyway. But, no, that's you're a father. Okay, so we know you're a father, and you're in the dating scene. And how old is your, well, I don't want this. If you don't want to tell me, how old is your youngest?
No, I don't care. My oldest is 18. Then my middle daughter's 13, and my youngest is 8.
Okay, and he's adorable, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, no, he is.
The video you made, how come you haven't pursued music more seriously? Because there is some talent there. I really think so. And I think you make the funny, like that Grease, you have a Grease video.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Oh, God, that was so fucking funny.
Thank you. It's like that's the thing, and that's like, and like just by you playing that clip of, it's like, I loved to write for Howard, and I loved to write for Jay Leno, and I got a lot of stuff on the Tonight Show, with video jokes and monologue jokes, and like probably one of my best career moments for the Tonight Show was that when Jay hosted the White House Correspondents' Dinner with Barack Obama, they played, one of my video jokes, and they cut to Barack, and he's laughing. And to me, it's like, hey, I made the freaking president laugh, okay?
You made it right there. Like, it does.
So,
you come up, you're a star at this point in Hollywood, for real.
No, and but listen, but I love the stuff that I did for Howard. I mean, the interviews I think was brilliant, and he was the one that, that had people do that before anybody else, before Borat and all that, and so I mean, I'm proud of all that, and I'm proud of a lot of the on-air stuff, and I don't regret leaving, but I do miss doing radio, and I've been doing a vodcast at John Lovitz for a while, and I have an agent now trying to get me a radio gig, so hopefully that'll happen too, because I do miss the freedom of radio as opposed to the structure of television.
Well, look, let me do something for you, okay? So you can be a comedy. I will let you on a preliminary basis start writing comedy bits for this show. And I will pay you I will be your co-host on
sex.
Maybe we'll have to see. I was gonna say EBT if you took EBT, but obviously that's probably not gonna be possible. But
what is EBT?
Food stamps. You just started listening to my show because I know you're an avid listener. You've been stalking me lately. It's kind of freaking me out, but it's all right. I understand where you're coming from. No, but what just John, don't deny it because it just makes you look that much more guilty.
I am stalking you every day because
Jesus.
I really need to have sex with you.
You really need me bombing your joke for you is what you need.
No, I really need you to have sex with me. No, I'm only kidding.
No, you don't.
Anyway, it's almost 2. I told you I'd give you an hour because I got to pick up the kids from school today.
Okay, well, I will leave the. I would love to. You're more than welcome to come back. I am dead serious about that. I would love to have you come back. I wanted to do something. I wanted to get together with you and do something that would have been funny. But I'll talk to you about that another time. You're more than welcome to come back. You've been great. Thank you so much for giving me the interview in the first place. I personally think that you're amazing. And yes, I'm going to start stalking you. That's the bottom line. You're just going to have to.
And listen, if I could say, thank you very much for having me on. And
yes.
Can you say I love Kicking It with Crystal? This is introducing yourself. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but let me just please let me just tell everybody, all 3,000 or whatever, or 3 million of your listeners, that I am going to be at Stand Up Scottsdale. I am headlining October 16th through the 19th, and I would love for you to come down, and after every show, we will hang out and drink until dawn. So that's, I mean, so if anybody's in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area, please come down and check out the stand-up. I think that you would laugh and have a good time.
And drinks are on you, right?
Drinks are not on me, but I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids. A kid going to college, alimony, child support, and 2 mortgages.
Oh wow! Okay? Come on.
Exactly. I'm gonna start driving for Uber.
Okay, and give him your TV, your John Melendez.
Oh yeah, you can go to it's stutteringjohnmelendez.com.
Okay, and then is there anything that you can get to your YouTube channel from there, right? You've got so many videos on the YouTube channel. I've been like.
Yeah, you can go to, what is it, Stuttering John TV? What is it? I don't even remember. I mean, you can.
Yeah. John Melendez.
And you can follow me. What the hell am I on Twitter? But Stuttering John M.
Right. You can follow John at Stuttering John M on Twitter. That's at Stuttering John M. It's all lowercase. Anything else you want me to do for you, sir?
Yeah,
I mean,
thank
question.
you. No. You, I'd be the one who. No. Anyway,
Okay, give me record my, just say this Stuttering John
So what do you want me to say?
You're kicking it with Crystal. This is Stuttering John, and I love kicking it with Crystal. Just boost me up.
All right.
Say, and stutter while you're doing it.
Hey, this is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're kicking it with Crystal, this freaking whore.
Oh, God, you are in love with me. It's great. I love it. Okay, so we're going to play them out with this song that did cause a little bit of controversy, but had me laughing my ass off last night.
Which one was this?
Lead On. I believe you sang this.
Oh, with me going off on my kid, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, but and let me give you another promo. Let me give you a nicer one because the other one was a little mean.
No, don't worry about it. I mean, you can give me it to me, baby.
Right.
Give me all you
all
want.
Right.
I love it.
This is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're listening to Kicking It with Crystal, the biggest slutty whore in the world.
Yes.
I think I need something a little bit. I think I need a little bit, a nicer one. Now, let me give you a nice one now. You ready?
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right. This is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're listening to Kicking It with Crystal, the hottest DJ this side of the Rio Grande. No, that sucked. I couldn't. Hold on. That one sucked. Let me try one more one. Okay, you ready? Hold on. This is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're listening to Kicking It with Crystal. She's hot, but she ain't single. Damn it.
Not yet. My husband's got like 2 more chances, and then if he misbehaves, I'm all yours. Okay.
Okay, then let me try another one.
Okay.
This is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're listening to Kicking It with Crystal, my future wife.
My future ex-wife. Future ex-wife.
I know. Okay. This is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're. Oh, that was. Okay, hold on a second. Who would have think I would have been the announcer? Okay, you ready? This is Stuttering John Melendez, and you're listening to Kicking It with Crystal, my future ex-wife, future ex-lover, and future alimony check receiver.
Yes. Thank you for not making me have another child, because I was afraid you were going to say future baby's mom, and I'm like, no, fuck you.
No.
I'm going to remove my uterus. Okay, awesome. You've been amazing. I am a total freaking super fan. I'm going to start my own fan club for you, and I'm going to run it.
All right.
And,
thanks so much, Crystal.
Okay, and thank you guys for listening, tuning in. We're going to leave you with this song. This is freaking hilarious. He's actually singing. How old's your boy in this?
I think he's like 4.
He's like 4, and he's like hiding. He starts off like, oh, I love Daddy. Daddy's singing to me. And then by the end of the video, he's like hiding under the pillow, like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, Crystal, I hope you know that I shot the screaming part when he wasn't in the room.
I figured just as much. I mean, you can tell.
No, the only reason
but
the only reason I say that is because some idiot
caused the problem.
Like on YouTube posted, how dare you be abusive to your kid like that? I mean, I was like, you ass. Haven't you ever heard of doing something after?
And you know what? I'll tell you what. I've yelled at my kid like that before. Like not. I mean, my kid's an asshole. Like to be honest, he's 3 and he's a jerk, and he's had 3 years of perfecting his jerkiness, and he is. He's a little bit of a shit. So, yeah,
Well, you know what? I got my ass kicked as a kid, as did my sisters and brother, and I'm very happy to say I have never ever raised my hand to any of my kids.
I have never either. And you know what? My husband had the shit beat out of him by his father, and he's never. We're almost the opposite. Like we're too lenient. Like we're so afraid to inflict that emotional pain. Fuck the physical pain. We're so afraid to inflict that emotional pain that we just don't. We're horrible disciplinarians. We suck.
Well, you know what? It's like it's just as effective to just take their computer away or their video game away. I mean, you don't have to. There's no need to alienate the relationship between you and your kid forever by ever hitting the kid. I'm completely against it. So
I am too. And it's like, well, how are you going to sit there and get mad at your kid? Don't push your sister and then smack them. Like you keep your hands to yourself and smack them. Like that's going to confuse the fuck out of them, and you wonder why they're
No, I mean, listen, that's. I'm telling you, you could take their, TV away, take their beer away, and, it's,
Did you say take their beer away?
Yeah, it was a joke. Sorry.
I was like, I don't know if you said take their beer away or take their computer. I haven't thought about taking the beer away yet, but now that's going to be my next move. My 3-year-old is like, give me that fucking Heineken.
No, but you know what's so funny is that my mom's Danish, and I swear to God, she would make Danish pancakes, and where one of the main ingredients was a bottle of beer.
And then, like, she wonders why every kid of hers is a freaking raging alcoholic. I mean, it's like we were eating them since we were 3 years old.
I wanted to get into that with you and see if you dabbled in that lifestyle. Like, did you get on drugs? But I know you have to go pick up your kids, and I don't want to be.
No. I mean, no. I've never been a drug addict. I'll smoke the occasional doobie.
Nothing hard though.
No, and I don't have a medical card or anything, and
do you
enjoy
Viagra regularly though?
No, not regularly. Only when I do coke, and I do drink beer, but that's just been the case, I mean,
It's beer or beer. Like, you're not drinking a light like Bud Light or Coors Light, right?
No, yeah, I drink Corona Light, but you know what? I gotta watch my girlish figure. But the truth is that as far as drugs go, I mean,
you had to
beer
be
goes like. No, but here's the thing. Well. I mean, I once did some lines with Sam Kinison, which was a great story. I mean, we were at the China Club in LA, and Sam used to introduce me like I was like the biggest celebrity in the world, and introduced me. Oh, this is another one I put my foot in my mouth. He introduces me to Julian Lennon, and what is the one thing you should not say to Julian Lennon? Well, I'll tell you what it is, Julian. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band changed my life. Don't mention John to Julian, and that was the first line I said to him. But anyway, speaking of lines, then Sam takes me into the bathroom, and we go into a stall, and he opens up a magazine page full of coke. I haven't seen that much pot in my life. It was like so much blow, and he has me do a couple of like blasts, whatever, and then he reaches into his pocket, pulls out this pill and goes, "Now, John, if you get a little too wacky, take this pill. It'll let me come down." So yes, I did dabble a little bit with Sam doing coke, but you know what? He was the greatest. I love Sam Kinison. I dedicated my first album to him, and my other friend Ian Poplar.
By the way,
it's just called Stuttering John.
I'll talk my way out of it.
Yeah, it's that album, which actually got a good review from Rolling Stone magazine, I actually have it framed and hanging in my house just to prove to people that I wasn't such a bad singer.
No, and you have talent. That's what I was going to say. Like, why are you pursuing that?
I had 2 record deals. I do enjoy playing, but it's easier to do stand up because it's just you and you write your own jokes, you get on stage and boom, as opposed to having to get a whole band together, go to a bunch of rehearsals. It's just, it's just a lot of work, and then, you're not going to make money that I'm going to make doing stand-up.
Well, I'm learning how to play a keyboard right now, a mean-ass electric keyboard, so, I mean, when you want to get the band back together, I can't sing a lick, but, I can't even play keyboard really that well, and my keys light up, too, to tell me where to go next, and I still suck balls, but I'll give it my all.
All right, sweetie, well, thanks for having me on. Where are you living?
I live in California, in Hemet, California.
Oh,
I'm like probably like if you're in like the Malibu area or in that general vicinity. I'm north. No.
Oh, so you're in Malibu?
No, I'm north of that, I think, or I might be south of that. I'm not really good with directions.
Are you like
That's
Ventura,
why I named my kid after a compass, huh?
Oh, exactly. All right, I do a whole bit about that. Anyway.
Does it have to do with, like, she'll never be able to work for Southwest Airlines?
No.
Don't steal my joke. You're going to have to pay me $100.
No.
If you
got
my
to come see me. No, you got to come see me. But, all right, I got to go. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, all right. I'll talk to you later, and thank you very much. And we're going to play this song out. All right.
I'll see you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
I know that you're my buddy Oscar, and I love you all each day, and you always make me happy, and that is why I just have to say, lead on, but don't get attacked. Lead on, right in the back, yeah, lead on like that.
daddy does every time he goes to work. I lead on. I sit there, I do the job, I bring home the freaking check, and then we pay bills. And then I had to have 3 kids. And then I gotta change your diapers. And then I gotta take you bowling. And then I gotta take you to Chuck E. Cheese. And then I lose my sex life. And then I can't watch football. No! I gotta go out. I gotta go out and go take you guys to the petting zoo. What do I want with a petting zoo? I want to get some petting myself. Ever since your mom gave birth to all you kids, I'm doing nothing. I'm getting nothing. Look at you. You're just happy sitting there. And I gotta do everything. Oh, you gotta worry about what Lego block you want to attach. I gotta worry about where my next paycheck is coming from. Try and go through that. That's not easy. It's not easy being me. You see what I gotta do around here? I'm doing everything.
We have to go to the bat mitzvah. Did you forget? Oh, God.
See what I'm talking about?
Was fun, but the time has come to say goodbye. Until next time, to the silent viewers, thanks for lurking, and shout out to the chat. Keep on spurging, don't care what you do or where you go. Toodaloo, you too. Get the fug out of K's hole. Toot-toot-a-low, toot-toot-toot-a-low. Farewell, good night, see ya next time, so long. Bye-bye, sayonara, peace out. Seriously, you can leave now. Figure it out, dude, toodaloo.